In the dusty heart of the village of Udi in Senegal, where the earth cracked and the sun rarely showed mercy, lived a boy named Obinna. He had nothing, no mother, no father, not even a mat of his own to sleep on. He was fed by the kindness of strangers and raised by the whispers of elders who doubted he would ever become more than a shadow in the wind. But Obinna had something no one could see: his hands. Calloused, small, but strong with purpose. While other children played by the river, Obinna worked. He farmed the land of elders, fetched water for the sick, cleaned for the tired, and never once asked for more than a coin. Every coin he earned, he saved. The other boys would laugh. "Why do you work so hard?" they asked. Because one day, Obinna would reply, "I will plant something of my own, not today, but soon." One day, word reached the village. King Dala, ruler of vast lands, was looking for workers for his fields. Everyone knew of King Dala's riches, but they also knew his temper. Many entered his service, few lasted a season. Obinna, barefoot and determined, walked 3 days to the king's land. When he arrived, he stood before the mighty ruler and said, "I have no name, no family, but I have my hands. Let me work." King Dala laughed, his golden rings clinking as he waved his hand. "You, with your bones, survive one harvest, and I'll pay you in seeds." Obinna bowed. "Thank you, my king." The days that followed tested him. The sun beat down, and the thorns tore at his feet. The other workers mocked him. But Obinna kept going. He worked harder than all of them, studied the soil, listened to the wind, and cared for the plants as if they were family. At night, while others rested, Obinna stayed up, scribbling what he learned on leaves and bark, dreaming of his own farm. When the harvest came, many collapsed. Obinna stood tall. True to his word, King Dala gave him a sack of seeds and dismissed him. With those seeds, Obinna returned to Udi. He found a dry, unused patch of land beyond the village's edge. He begged the elders for permission to use it. "Let me tend this land," he said. "I will make it better than it is." They chuckled but allowed it. Obinna worked from dawn until the stars blinked awake. He carried water from the river, turned the soil, and planted his first seeds. And the earth, seeing his labor, smiled. That year, his crops grew tall and full. The yams were sweeter than honey, the cassava thicker than a man's arm. Word spread. People traveled from distant villages just to taste the miracle harvest. He sold his crops, bought tools, hired helpers. He named his farm Efeoma, the good thing. With his profits, he bought a well for the village and built a small school for children who, like him, had been forgotten. And still he worked. Every year his farm expanded. He bought more land, took in orphans, taught them everything he knew. When drought struck the region, many farmers abandoned their land. Obinna didn't. He had stored enough, prepared enough. His farm fed not only his workers, but entire villages. He was called before the council of chiefs. "Obinna," they said, "you are a man of wisdom and strength. Will you sit among us?" He declined. "My place is with the soil, with the people. Let others wear crowns. I will grow futures." Years passed. Obinna became a name of respect, a name that carried weight across the region. One dusty afternoon, a bent old man arrived at his gates. It was King Dala. "Obinna," he said, voice low, eyes sunken, "I hear you now own the North Fields. Would you buy my last plot?" Obinna looked at him, the same man who once called him a rat. "You gave me thorns," Obinna said quietly, "but I turned them into roots. I will buy your land, not for revenge, for peace." He paid the king, gave him shelter and dignity in his final years. And so the boy who once had nothing, who started with only his hands, became the greatest landowner in the land. His home, now a great compound, welcomed travelers, fed the poor, and trained farmers. One day, under a mango tree, children gathered around the now old Obinna. "Papa Obinna," a small boy asked, "how did you become so rich?" Obinna raised his hands and smiled. "These," he said, "these hands. I used them with honesty, with patience, and with love for the land." He paused, then added, "And I never stopped learning. The land teaches you if you listen." Moral of the story: true wealth is not in what you hold, but in what you build. And greatness doesn't always come from kings. It can rise from the humblest of hands. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you.